Before we move on to our preview, we're at CUSA opener against Jack State. Can you give us the final thoughts on Maine?
Yeah, let me open up with this first. Ron Berger has been medically disqualified, and so he'll no longer play anymore. He's gonna help us coach. He had a setback last week during practice from a head injuries, concussions that he's had, and he's just had too many that would put himself in if he got another one, it could jeopardize his future. And so meeting with him and the doctors and everybody, we all felt like that was the best course of action. So you guys are aware of that. He'll be helping us coach and being a student assistant while he finishes up his degree. So we're disappointed for him. He'd put a lot of work in to come back from the injuries that he had, and I hate it for him. But also I know he's at peace as well, because it's got to be bigger than football, and with his future, you don't want to risk some type of serious injury there. So we're disappointed for him, but excited. He's got a great knowledge. We're excited that he can help us coach. We'll see. He's pretty good at schemes, and so we're going to put him to work already. Looking back at Maine, I liked how we were able to compete all four quarters. I think we did a lot of really good things. There's some things execution-wise I wish was better. I think we could have executed earlier in the first half, and put some points on the board. We had opportunities to do that. Thought our defense played well for four quarters. We had one misfit there that gave up a huge run, and a couple other ones that we can't have if we're going to try to be an elite defense. And if you'd be an elite defense, you can't give up easy plays. And I thought our defense, we gave up a couple easy ones that we can't afford to happen, especially as we get into conference play. But pleased with we played a clean game. Didn't turn the ball over, had very limited penalties, which has been a positive. Got to make our kicks early in the game. One of those things there, but. I thought our guys handled everything. We had some new guys trying to play for us, and so I thought they got better as the game went, and we got a lot of areas to improve. But I know our guys are hungry to go do that.
I guess if you could take us through what that means for your quarterback room, I'm assuming Michael Merdinger steps up to be your backup in that situation. Yeah, so
Mike was 3. He'll be 2 there, and he got quite a few reps during the fall, and so and then for 3, it's a battle between Ethan and Jaden, and so we'll have to determine who that's going to be there with that, and so we'll. Throughout, not that your 3 gets a lot of reps during the week, really doesn't, but we'll have to find some ways to give them some just to see who that third one is that's ready in case we need them from that standpoint.
Health-wise, outside of that, how'd you come out of this game?
Let me think through it real quick. We had some bang-ups, but nobody should be missing going forward. Now we did have some guys that didn't play in the game. And so can we get them back? That's still up in the air. They had, whether it was a lower body injury or something that just held them out. And so we've got a couple guys like that we're trying to get back. But as far as guys in the game, we had some guys get banged up. Obviously, you saw Brylan. But he was able to come back in. As of today, this morning, everything looks good that we'll have who we should have going into the game.
That put Reese Smith at punt return then at that point?
It did. We've had a couple, 2-3 guys back there throughout all fall camp, practicing that can do some things. But Reese just gives us who we believe is the most consistent catching it. He's going to make good decisions there, and you want to make sure that number one goal is to have the ball back there. And so, Reese is the guy there. Juju can do that. Tyson Mobley can do that as well. So you might see those guys. Reese will be the first one out.
How did your offensive line grade out after you had a chance to watch the tape? I know we talked about some of the protections and things on Saturday.
Yeah, we can play better there. We can play better. I don't want to give out their grades, but I'll just say it needs to improve. I think the disappointment that we had overall, if you look at your third downs, we were 11 out of 19 on third down, which is pretty good. There's a lot of third downs, 11 out of 19. 1 out of 2 on fourth down, so you're 12 out of 20 from a percentage standpoint. It's pretty solid, but we weren't very good in third and short. We didn't give up any sacks, but we also allowed the quarterback to feel some pressure, and so I thought we just played timid. And then some guys that have played football for us didn't play very well, And that's more disappointing to me is some new guys that hadn't been with us actually played pretty good, but the ones that have been here didn't play up to their standard and our standard we have for that. And that's, I think, the disappointing thing. And so we got to get that fixed as we're going into our next opponent who's really good. And so I was just, and I think our whole side of the ball was disappointed in how we played there consistently. And so we've got to improve there if we're going to have any chance of having any type of wins this year.
As you look ahead to Saturday, Jack State, what are some things that might keep you up at night as you prepare for them?
Well, offensively, they go really fast. They got a really good back that transferred from TCU, who's really good, quarterback from Kentucky, and Rutgers, I believe, and that played well, and so who's athletic, and they got some skill guys, and so they play with a tempo that you got to line up fast. So that's something that I know our defense has got to get ready for. Defensively, they're really they're multiple. And so they've got a lot of, they got a D coordinator. Their head coach has been a D coordinator. They got a lot of guys that know a lot about defense, and so they're multiple in what they do. They do a good job of disguising coverages and making you challenging on everything. And so, but their interior specifically is really, really good. Their D line and linebacker levels, they got some really good players there. So it's going to be, we got to have to do a really good job of blocking if we're going to have any chance there, because that's where they're not that they're not good anywhere else. They've got good players, but those are guys really stand out. If you watch their first game, I mean, they did a great job versus UCF. They're a Big 12 team. I mean, really had the game in hand till late in the game, and so they're much improved. I say much improved, meaning of what I thought Maine was a good team. The level of athleticism is going to go up, this week. So we've got to be ready to go.
What you guys showed offensively over the course of that second half, where it took a while to get going, but then once it did, it seemed like there was a different level that was reached. Is that an indication of the offense coming together in game situation and something that's transferable for Jack State and beyond?
I hope so. I think you go in, you make some adjustments, and you're all right. What are they doing to you, and how can we do some things better? I think that was one. I think two, we just executed better in the second half. I think in the first half we missed some things. We just didn't do some things that we had all leading up to that. And you give Maine credit. They did a good job as well. And so, but I think we settled down a little bit. You do have some new guys. You had a lot of new guys playing, and with the way our line was, we put some new guys in because we weren't playing as well as we wanted to, and so there's some just new things. And when you got new guys and a bunch of different positions, it just takes a while to gel a little bit, and I think that happened. But I do think there's a lot of positive we can build off there. The thing that happened is you're struggling, and as I look back at it, we didn't turn it over and put our defense. We were struggling to score. We didn't turn it over, put our defense in bad positions. It became a field position game there in the third quarter. They punted us back inside the 3-yard line twice. We were able to flip the field position. So there's a lot of things that we did without scoring. I wish we would have scored, but we kept ourselves in the game and not getting too far behind until we could really get it going. So there's some positives we can feed off of that our guys can, I believe, can give them confidence. But I think they all would tell you they know they got to play better too. And so that's to me is what I'm looking forward to is they knew it. They weren't just like, oh yeah, like satisfied. They knew it. Hey, we got to play better, and so that's a positive you can build off of as a coach.
So
Hayden Williams as the freshman of the week. Do you learn anything about him in your running back room?
We knew, we felt solid about there. I think, I'd love to see Caden and just continue to grow into the role. And from what I mean by that is first game playing, and so he did some solid things there. But we need more from him. We need more from him. So he's got to play better, to be honest with you, and he's got to run harder. And it was good for him to get his feet wet, but. That's probably the worst thing to happen to him, get freshman of the week, to be honest with you.
Coach, there was talk going into the game about the depth of defense and the limited reps that they might have to take. Did the reps kind of match up how y'all thought it might? It's only one game, but defensively with the depth and what you could do there.
Yeah, I think you had anywhere between we played 65 total plays, and I think the most. One of our starters played from the D-line was about 41. So if you think about that, it was a little bit over half, which is probably where you'd want to be at. Linebacker-wise, it was a little bit more, but we had some guys play 15 to 20 that were backup guys, and then secondary we rotated a little bit. So I think there was a good little mix there. You just got to continue to earn that, by the trust that how you prepare, and I don't think that's going to be something that's an every week thing. At the end of the day, you're going to be in close games. You got to put people out there you trust, and so you got to earn that trust by how your preparation is throughout the week and doing what we're asking you to do. So I'm hoping that can be a benefit for us. We played a lot of D linemen, so it seemed like we were fresh there. We were able to affect the passer, was not really bringing a lot of blitzes if you paid attention there from that standpoint. So that was good. If we can continue to do that and allow us to play some coverage, there's some positive there. We got to be able to stay fresh, especially this week because they're going to be playing a lot fast and they're going to try to wear us out. So we got to have a good week of practice. So our coaches feel confident. You're ready to go out here and play well when whatever your reps are.
Time for one more, Coach.
There's that old saying that teams make the biggest jumps from week 1 to week 2. Is that more prevalent now with the fact that you have rosters that are kind of coming together on the fly, and even seeing that in game?
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. I mean, and what you're hoping the jump is from really more of a crispness. Oh, I can't. Sorry, execution. Where all right, now you've seen it under the lights. You know how a game day roll. All the things that they're due for them. Now you've experienced that. So now you hope there's a comfortableness now that this is how we prepare. This is how a game day goes. All those things. What I need to see, what our team needs to see, is more just a level of intensity, consistency coming out of the gate with that. I think we've sort of filled our way around a little bit, just trying to find our way. And you can't do that in college football anymore. You can't. Everybody's good. There's a lot of parity, and so you have to we got to come out of the gate faster. And so that's been our one thing that we talked about with the team. I thought we finished strong, and I don't think we played terrible for 4 quarters by any means. I think there was some good football in there, but we could have played so much better. But I thought we just filled our way in that first half, just trying to find our way. That's what I need, and I'm hoping our improvement will be in the second, and I expect it to be.